What is up, everyone? Back on the island of Verity, bringing you another debate. We have Slick representing Composite Dean Winchester. I'm going to be representing Composite Daredevil, which would include Shadowland Daredevil. So this is going to be equal stats. Without further ado, Slick, you want to go over your premise, your first win con?
Yeah, so like for premise, pretty much it's like I'm mainly just gonna be trying to prove that like Dean just like overall will have like the bigger advantages and like the better hacks. So um so I guess
I'll say my premise, I guess, and so they'll know. So for my premise, I'll be proving that Daredevil will be able to handle whatever Dean throws at him. At the end of the day, Daredevil will either kill him, TKO, and overall, I'll be victorious in the debate when all said and done. So that's my premise.
all right, so I guess I'll give a win con. So I'm just gonna argue that like Dean is just gonna like neg Daredevil with like the Colt gun on a spiritual level, and he'll also have the range advantage since like uh the bullets being fired off from a gun, and he'll also be able to like land an accurate shot on you.
All right. You want to drop some clips for that?
Yeah, hold on. I'm just getting a timestamp.
Sure.
So I'll go to like 240 where it is.
Okay. Now I know this clip. So I guess I would just start off by asking from here, would Dean start off the fight pulling this out and using it right off the bat?
Yeah, he has like used like the Colt gun like first thing when in a combat situation.
Well, like when? Because I know, for example, in this situation, he specifically sought out to get this Colt gun specifically because that was the only thing they had at the time to kill the yellow-eyed demon. So this wasn't necessarily like him pulling it out straight up in a combat situation. It was more like planned out in this situation.
Yeah, in this situation, like it was planned out because like, like this demon like was like physically like a lot stronger like than they were. So like in terms of like physical stats, like Sam and Dean wouldn't like really be able to match him, which is why like they had to get the gun in the first place. But there's like other times where like Dean has like went in like pretty much like kind of just like blind, and like one of the things like that he like carries around is like a gun.
Okay. And you said this affects on a spiritual level. Can you go into detail on why that is?
Yeah, because the demon that they like killed in that like was like a spiritual being.
Like a demonic, non-corporal entity?
Yeah, it was like yeah, it was like demonic, yeah.
Well, can you give or show an example of Dean like pulling this out in a fight though, other than like right here, where it's more
Yeah,
like,
sure.
okay,
I gave you all the currently debating role, by the way.
all right, okay. So this clip,
Yeah, it's like and pretty much like when he got into like a combat situation, he pulled out a gun. And there was also this other time where like where it's like Sam like met, I forgot what his name was, but like Sam like pretty much like met this like supernatural being. It's like he brought him in, and then like Dean like wasn't like exactly what's the word, like he didn't really like want that dude around because like it's like a supernatural creature, and it was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get my gun now. And like and this wasn't like a combat like situation where like Dean like had like his gun like on him. This is like when he just like knew that like Sam had like brought in some like random supernatural creature, and then Dean wasn't exactly happy about it, so like he went to go like get his gun until like Sam like stopped him.
Well, you're saying, pull out a gun and get his gun, but I'm more or less asking like the Colt gun, because I know Dean pulls out a gun. He has different guns like silver bullets and guns. He has like normal 9. But I'm asking, even if he pulls out like a gun in specific situations, um, you also mentioned too, like it has to do with supernatural beings. So in this situation, in a normal encounter, why would Dean think to use the Colt gun right off when he has no idea what Daredevil even is starting off?
Well, okay, so like you're talking about like a specific time where he like pulled out the Colt gun.
Yeah, because like obviously I'm not denying he has it or he can use it. Obviously he can and he has it. And you've shown he's willing to pull out guns, which I know he is willing to do. But I'm saying with the Colt gun specifically, there's special situations we've seen him use it in specific scenarios on specific supernatural entities that he's not able to take out any other way. And he knows that. Whereas in this random normal encounter, why would he start off the fight with one of his more like potent spiritual killing guns, like supernatural guns on an opponent that he has no clue about, right?
All right.
Well, because he wouldn't risk shooting a normal
Oh,
human with that Colt gun. He's never shown to do that.
all right, hold on.
And I say normal human because Dean himself, again, he wouldn't have any idea starting off in this battle anything about Daredevil. He wouldn't have any clue on him, and vice versa. But I'm just on the first point right now.
I mean, we've seen that like Composite Dean hasn't like really like hesitated to like kill humans before. Like in that clip, like right there, like if you like watch a little after like the timestamp, you would see that like he didn't really hesitate to like kill an innocent guy.
Right. Well, human was more or less an example. I'm just saying the Colt gun point still stands, is what I'm saying. Because even when he's like beating up normal humans as like demonic Dean, he doesn't just pull out the Colt gun and like shoot off, you know, spiritual negging rounds on these people.
Okay, well that was like just mainly because like at that time he didn't like really have like the Colt gun. Like and like we've seen like when like Demon Dean has like gone up against like other demons, he pulled out some like other weapon, which was like the first blade like in character before. So like I wouldn't see like why he wouldn't like pull out like the Colt gun when like the Colt gun and like the first blade like pretty much do the same thing.
Or they do similar stuff, sure. But would you agree the Colt is inferior to the first blade?
Well, why is that like exactly relevant?
Well, again, because the whole first blade thing is also situational. It's like, because we're on the Colt gun part. So why would you bring up the first blade anyways? I'm just wondering. So that's why I'm asking, like, are you switching to like bringing up a new weapon now? That's why I'm wondering if
Nah,
it's like,
that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm more so trying to like use that to say like there wouldn't really be a reason for him why he wouldn't pull out the Colt gun like in character if it's like Composite.
well, sure, the reason would be because he's never done it.
Okay, hold on. If pretty much like the Colt gun and like the first blade, pretty much like they have very like similar properties, why like would that be the reason why? Like, okay, I'm not saying like that's your reason, but like I don't really like just because he hasn't shown it doesn't mean like he wouldn't do it, because like he has like done something like similar before.
Well, yeah, he's done something similar with a blade before. But I'm saying when he's like demonic, even without like having the Colt gun on him, what's to say? How can we think for Dean and say he would just instinctively pull out the Colt gun like that and use it?
Okay, but why does the type of weapon like matter? Because if they do the same thing, which is to kill supernatural creatures, it's like there wouldn't really be a reason to say why he wouldn't just use the Colt gun.
Well, that brings me back to another thing I brought up for this point, anyways, is how would Dean know exactly? He uses it on supernatural beings, but how would he know starting off what Daredevil even is? Why would he like pull this Colt gun out starting off in the fight?
Well, like I said, it's like he doesn't really like hesitate to like really like kill anyone as like Composite, so like he shouldn't really have a problem just like pulling it out right away in character. Because like in that same clip, he literally like didn't hesitate to just kill an innocent human.
Yeah, but if we also look at Dean when he was like part demon, a lot of the times when he beat up people, he did it like physically or chose to do it with the blade. He never once pulled out any other type of gun in that state of mind to choose to shoot him, even with like his normal other guns either. We don't even see that. Really.
Okay, the reason why he didn't use his normal guns is because the first blade is stronger than all those other guns. That's why like he never used them whenever like he pretty much went up against anyone. Even like in his fight with Cole, who's pretty much like human, he was pretty much like threatening him with like the first blade at like the end of the fight. It's like the reason why like Dean didn't do it right away, because like Cole did some whole like dramatic scene where like Dean even kind of like mocked him for it. It was like, oh, I'm whoever and you killed my father or prepared to die or like something like that, which is why like Dean wanted to like fuck around for a little bit before he like threatened him with the first blade.
Yeah, I get it. But again, going off how he acts in character, that's more or less like on your part, you're more or less assuming, oh, just because the first blade's stronger. But we also seen him physically beat up people as well, like with his bare hands, rather than like pull out a gun as well. Like like when he was a demon, he never thought about like pulling out guns on people.
Okay, that's just because he didn't really like have a gun when he was a demon. He mainly just like used the first blade, and he mainly like got into like hand-to-hand fights when like someone like pissed him off and like they were in like close range.
All right.
Like do you want like any like scans for that or something?
No, that's cool. I'll accept that, like
All right.
being able to attack the soul. I got something for that.
All right.
So Shadowland Daredevil directly on panel completely pretty much literally tanked Ghost Rider's Hellfire and even absorbed all of his Hellfire completely, drained it into himself or sucked it into himself. And this is actually impressive because we actually know for a fact Ghost Rider's Hellfire is verbatim stated to directly attack the soul and burn the soul. And I'll post the scans for that. So right here, Ghost Rider try to roll up on Shadowland Daredevil. We try to get Buck. He's like, "You're gonna burn," and Shadowland Daredevil just tanked it all and then absorbed all of his Hellfire into himself. Didn't even phase him.
Right.
And I'll get you the scan where.
I'm just gonna read these.
Sure. And I'll get the scan next where it directly says, "My fire attacks the soul or burns the soul."
Oh no, you don't need to get that. I think I know like the scan you're referring to.
Well, I have more than one if you need it, but
no, it's cool. It's cool.
And as you see, he completely just drains Ghost Rider of his Hellfire after tanking it.
One thing I'm gonna ask is like, do these like resist? Does he still like have these like resistances when he isn't like expecting anything? Because like I'm just gonna argue that like Dean is just gonna like try like catching him like off guard with like the Colt gun with like his like quick draw stuff, because like he has shown that like that's something like he would do is like use like quick draw on like like shoot him before like his opponent could even see it coming.
Well, when Ghost Rider rolled up on him, like right here in this scan, he wasn't even expecting Ghost Rider to blast him with Hellfire. And as you can see, it actually pushed him back at first. Then he just started absorbing it all out of him. So yeah, even if he's not expecting it to happen, he still has that resistance.
All right, hold on.
And again, it's not just like a single shot either of Hellfire. He literally took this entire blast and drained all of it out of him, completely just absorbed it all too, showing he can literally just consume spiritual attacks as well.
So okay, so like from like these scans, it's like he knew that like Ghost Rider was like coming at him, and then like Ghost Rider like shoots off like his Hellfire, and he kind of just like tanks it while like laughing at it. So like it kind of does seem like he would be expecting something like that from like Ghost Rider.
Okay, well, even if he was, what would imply his resistance would be dropped if he
Well,
wouldn't
it's like
expect
with
it?
like it's like with okay, her. It's like with Goku, for example, when he's like caught off guard, he can get like negged by like things he wouldn't like get negged by if he was on guard.
Okay, well, for one, that's Goku from Dragon Ball. We know that's specifically highlighted for his weakness as well. And Whis even highlights it. Can you give an example for Marvel for like Daredevil? Like, don't give a false
Wait,
equivalency
wait, how is that like a false equivalence?
because you gave a character that's already explained. Like, it's very much highlighted throughout the show. That's Goku's main weakness when his guard's down. That's a weakness for him. And that's also like being able to neg his physical durability, like when his ki's down, because we know ki in Dragon Ball is what gives you your resistances as well, spiritual, mental, and nature.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. So, let me see if I can give another analogy.
And again, why would being off guard anyways neg or like make your resistances drop when they don't even correlate to like your physical durability or anything? Because obviously this resistance has to do with the soul.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I guess I'll just accept this counter.
Okay. So you mind if I go on to my first win con?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'm going to argue that Daredevil is going to outskill Dean and either paralyze him or just knock him unconscious via nerve strikes and pressure points. And I can go into detail on where he scales in terms of skill if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. So Daredevil, starting off, he is actually confirmed by Punisher himself, right? Punisher himself directly states, all right, so here's how I see it. He has the skill, speed, and super crazy sensory capabilities, and I have the weight. So pretty much Punisher is confirming Daredevil's more skilled than him. I'll post that scan too momentarily. So this is important because this same Punisher has demonstrated that he can fight on par in terms of skill and trade blows with Moon Knight himself. And in fact, it took Spider-Man to break these two up, or they were pretty much going to kill each other at the rate they were going. And this is impressive because Punisher being able to fight on par with Moon Knight means that Punisher himself would be versatile in every martial art, as Moon Knight himself is confirmed to be versatile in all martial arts. And yet, Punisher, when he goes up against Daredevil, he straight up admits, yeah, he's got the skill on me. So, starting off for my skill argument for now, anyways, I'm arguing that Daredevil is more skilled than a man who is versatile in all martial arts. And I'll start dropping the scans for that. All right, so here's scan number one. Punisher confirming Daredevil has the skill over him. And here's proof of Punisher being relative to Moon Knight and Spider-Man having to actually break them up, or if they ended up killing each other at the rate they were going. And then here is the scan that
Um,
confirms Moon Knight
okay.
is versatile in all martial arts.
Alright.
Okay, so any questions?
Yeah, I'm just reading these right now. Hold on. Okay, so like, are you like arguing that like Daredevil would just like upscale from like Punisher and Moon Knight, who are like versatile and like or like versatile in like all martial arts?
Yeah, it's like a bare minimum for Daredevil's skill, but if necessary, I'm willing to argue higher. But as for now, yeah, he's at least more skilled than characters who are versatile in all martial arts.
Okay, so for Dean's skill, is that Dean like has shown that like he's also like versatile in every single martial art because he was pretty much like outskilling a guy who like was to that level.
You're referring to Cole, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I know the clip, so you don't have to go through all that. I've actually watched it a lot, but so you want to go into detail on Cole?
Okay, so pretty much it's like with Dean, it's like Dean didn't even know who this nibba Cole was. It's like and like Cole like around this time even had prep time on Dean, which would like make the feed even like more impressive because Dean had like no knowledge on this dude, and like he was even like stated in that clip that like Cole pretty much knew like every single martial art, and Dean like casually or just like blatantly countering whatever Cole threw at him, and was even like disarming him throughout the fight.
Right, right. Because Cole did like a kung fu stance. Dean said, "Oh, you know kung fu," and Cole says, "Huh, I know everything." And Dean's like, "Well, come
Yeah,
on." Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah. It was like he pretty much like Dean pretty much just like blatantly like negs him in every way possible, even though Cole had like prep time on him.
Yeah, really impressive. But I do have a couple questions involving this. So, first question would be the first fight Dean had with Cole, wasn't Dean part demon at that point?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, so he would have had like a physical advantage over Cole as well, right?
Yeah, he did have a physical advantage like over Cole, but like you also have to consider that even then, that Dean was just like completely like outskilling him, and like Cole also had like prep on him as well. They did fight another time. Do you like want that?
I think I recall the clip. Just go into detail on the clip though, if you want, like the fight
Okay,
scene.
so it's pretty much like this was like when Dean wasn't like a demon anymore. It was just like regular in character Dean, and like Cole that time had even more prep on him, and Dean like still like negged him in skill.
If I recall though, didn't Dean have to try a little harder with his skill because Cole was actually able to damage him more due to him being human in their second fight? Didn't Dean have to like try harder?
Dean was like he wasn't like a demon in what's it called, the second fight, which is why like he
Yeah,
did have to like utilize like more like of like his skill to like neg Cole, because again Dean didn't have like the same like physicality when he did when he was like a demon. But you still also have to like consider that Cole also had like prep on him both times.
yeah. I was just making sure with these first couple of questions that it would be consistent for Dean. That's fine. So I want to go back to Cole for a moment now. So Cole says he does know every martial art. However, I would like to bring an argument to the table and suggest that just because Cole may know every martial art, he may not be as skillful or as versatile as he thought he was. And it really could be Dean himself that's simply the one who's really versatile and skillful in martial arts. And I say this, Flick, because verbatim, Ko himself says, I know everything, right? He blatantly says he knows it, sure. And then we go to Dean. Dean in their first encounter, even towards the end of their fight, he says, maybe you're not as good as you think you are. So that would tell me Ko is definitely above the average dude, right? He went through all that training. He knows all these martial arts. But Dean would be more along the lines of the one who is really skillful and adept in all these martial arts compared to Ko. I wouldn't say Ko himself is necessarily like adept in everything the way Dean is. He more or less knows everything. But even Dean himself says maybe you're not as skilled as you thought you were.
Well, well, you could also argue that like Dean would just more so like upscale from that.
Well,
Because
yeah,
like he said because like he was more so like questioning if like Cole was as good as he thought he was. Like that can either like mean that like he isn't like entirely sure if like Cole is skilled in every martial art, or he would just like upscale from like Cole being like, like versatile in every single martial art.
I mean, sure, I'm already admitting and agreeing he would upscale from what Ko is doing. But I'm saying from the looks of it, Cole himself seems to know every martial art, but he doesn't seem to be necessarily like adept in all of them because there's that one statement, but can you actually demonstrate any type of like feats or anything like showcasing Ko, like actually utilizing and showcasing his skillfulness though with these martial arts?
Oh, okay, so I think what you're trying to say here is that like Dean would be like more adept at like every martial art than like Cole would be, and Cole would just like more so just like know how to like use martial art and not like be as skilled as like Dean in terms of like being adept.
Yeah, what I'm saying is Dean, from what it seems like to me, he would be more along the lines of Moon Knight tier, like just straight up like baseline versatile everything. Whereas Ko, he's obviously above, your average dude, your average businessman. He went through the military. He literally trained in every martial art. He knows them. However, there's nothing that really suggests that he's as skillful as he let himself on to be, or is like straight up like adept to the degree of like someone like Moon Knight is. And it seems
Okay,
like
if you're trying
Dean,
to, yeah, I know what you're trying to say. If you're trying to say that, then that's fine. Um, yeah, because like Cole just like it would just say that he like knows every martial art.
yeah, so Dean would be the one who's just really adept in them and really
Yeah,
skillful.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just
All right, so
misunderstood you
Dean,
at first.
oh, okay, so Dean, so you would agree Dean would be around like Moon Knight's level of skill?
Yeah. So yeah, I would agree that like Daredevil would be more skilled.
Yeah, he'd have the edge. You'd agree with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so I can post some stuff for something else I claimed, like pressure points and nerve strikes, if you'd like, and we can go over that now. What
Oh
does
yeah,
Dean have
sure.
for nerve strikes and pressure points?
Well, okay, so in terms of like pressure points, to my knowledge, base Dean doesn't like necessarily have resistances to nerve strikes, but hold on, let me see if I have anything for nerve strikes. Okay, so I don't necessarily have a direct resistance to pressure points, but like I do have like other things I could possibly counter like your nerve strikes. But if you want, like you can like go into like detail for like what like these nerve strikes do.
Sure. So they'll either, like I said, knock you unconscious. They'll paralyze you, pretty much like make you go limp, so to speak. And I already started posting some instances where he's done this and utilized nerve strikes and pressure points. And I'm also going to post another instance as well.
Yeah, so it's like
So
yeah, the
pretty
first
much just
scan. Oh, okay,
take
you
you
can
out. It's
finish.
pretty much like durability in a sense, like it does negate conventional durability because it's specifically attacking your nerves and your soft spots. So yeah, it's going to be pretty much attacking like your nervous system, making you go limp, paralyzing you, knocking you unconscious. stuff like that. Not necessarily killing you per se.
Yeah, I've seen a few of these scans before. That's fine. So I guess what I could argue is that hold on. Yeah, I guess I would just argue that like Dean would like use like his fate hacks to make it to where like Daredevil wouldn't really even like be able to touch him. And like
Dean
we've
has
seen
fate
this
hacks.
or sorry, luck hacks, my bad.
All right, that's what I thought you meant. Just double checking though.
Yeah, luck hacks. Yeah.
Yeah, go on. So you're talking about the
Alright,
rabbit's foot,
so
right?
mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so pretty much like this thing pretty much made it to where like Dean like has like passive luck hacks and like with this it's like he was able to pretty much like things like he couldn't even perceive were able to touch him and pretty much just like made it to where like he pretty much always had good luck on his side. So here, I'll get scans for that.
All right. Is this the only clip?
No, I have other ones. Hold on.
No, it's no big deal. I got a counter. I'm going to argue for this.
All right.
So I'm going to argue, yes, this obviously is passive luck, but I'm going to say this. So once Daredevil realizes that, oh crap, why can't I like land a hit? I'm like skillful over him, or I got more skill than him. And once he realizes that and stuff's not going in his favor, I'm going to argue that Daredevil is going to use his own fate manipulation to wield the luck to go in his own favor and wield the fight to go how he wants it to go. And I'll get you the scans of that too. And at the very least, I would argue I would argue a couple of things. One, this would counter out the luck and just wield it to go how he would want it to go, or it would just cancel each other out entirely and still leaving the luck useless. But I'll get you the scans for his fate manipulation. Now, in these scans, you can just obviously you don't need to like worry about the infinite like possibilities. I'm not arguing like I'm having like infinite precog or anything. Obviously, we agreed not have layers.
Yeah.
This is just for the fate stuff. So, but pretty much Daredevil, when things are looking real bad, right? He has to get serious, stuff like that. He'll use his own fate manipulation and he'll wield it to go one way, his way. And we see this right here as well. When he's fighting Rhino, someone who's far superior to himself, he wills the fight and makes it to where he literally and accurately handles these characters with no issue on his part.
Okay, so I do have a few questions. So this kind of just like seems like he like was like looking through like different possibilities and like there was like and he said like, oh yeah, there's like one like possibility where it could like go in like his favor and like he kind of just like more so looked into that like possibility and like try to like figure out a way how he could like make it like go in like his favor. So this kind of just seems more like precog than like fate hacks.
The thing is, though, he would need to be wielding it in a sense as well. It's not just precog. He's literally wielding it to go in that one way. All these infinite possibilities against multiple people. One of them who could actually one-shot him if he's not, paying attention or if he's not careful. Like Rhino, for example, could actually one-shot Daredevil and his entire rogue gallery. So he literally says, "Look, there's no more playing around tonight. He has to be serious. He's taking it very serious." And he's literally looking through. Hold on. He's looking through these infinite possibilities. Like, okay, this is going to go. This only one way. This is going to go. He verbatim says that, and he makes it go that one way too, and he wins.
Okay, so with the whole like Rhino thing, it kind of just seems like he just like blitzed Rhino and then it was like over. But with like the whole like where like he would have to like wield it to where it would like go in that like specific way. It's kind of like where like what's it called? You look at something, you memorize it, then you just like copy it is what it seems is like going on here. He like looked into that one like possibility where it could like go into like his favor and then just did all the movements to where like it actually go in his favor. Like when he like blitzed the Rhino and like just deflected all of like Bullseye's like bullets right there.
All of what movements? It's like he does this within like a couple panels. There's not even time for him to like strategize or plan it out. He just looks into it and he's like, oh shoot, I have to do this. There's like one way this has to go. And it literally just goes that one exact way. Like it's literally just implied he forced it to go that way. This literal man, right? This is like base Daredevil too, just like this quote unquote normal human fighting like these gamma powered like Rhino dude, freaking Bullseye. Like there's no other way he'd be able to take him on with normal means, dude. And like just normal precognition and skill. Rhino vastly outclasses him. So clearly is wielding this to go in his favor. So I would say again, at the very least, it would just cancel each other out, and the luck stuff won't even be anything.
So with like the whole like Rhino thing, you could like see that like he was just like he just blitzed Rhino and then like choked him with like those like nunchucks. It looks like, but
well,
with
that
like
him blitzing him would support my point even further because Daredevil is again far inferior to Rhino. That just supports him literally wielding it to go how he wants it to go.
All right, so like
I'm even going off literally what he says too. Like he blatantly says, "Look, out of infinite possibility, there's only one way this is actually going to go."
Okay, so like does this like only like work when he like uses like his precog to like look into like a possibility where it could like go in like his favor?
Well, yeah,
like,
and this. Well, I'm
or
saying,
like would he just instinctively know?
well, yeah. For example, all right. To answer that, as I mentioned, like starting off, he's going to realize once things are going more in Dean's favor, even after he has like the skill edge and he sees that, he's going to realize things aren't going his way. He's going to say, "Oh shoot, I need to take a look. What the heck's actually going on here? Oh shoot." And by that point, he's going to do something similar here. He's going to see, okay, now there's only one way this has to go down. I got to really cancel this shit out. And he's going to cancel out the luck manip and make it go in his way.
Hold on, I think I got something for this.
You there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Just trying to look for a certain scan. Bro, who keeps leaving and joining VC? Scum, stop leaving and joining VC.
I just joined back. That wasn't me, actually.
All right.
Well, what particular clip are you looking for? I mean, I could possibly steelman it.
Actually, no, I don't really have anything. So I guess I'll just like grant like the luck and fate hacks will just cancel each other out.
Yeah, so all right. So from here you would agree the luck won't have any play in this to help you at all.
No, not really.
All right. You have anything else you want to bring up for the nerve stuff?
Well, I think I might have something else for the whole nerve strikes.
Okay. What would that be?
Actually, no, it's never mind. It's like not gonna like work in like this specific situation. Yeah, I don't really have anything against like nerve strikes.
All right. Well, you want to go on to another WinCon of yours?
Sure. Let me see if I still have something. No, I don't really have anything else to bring up.
All right. Yeah, I don't really either. I'm just going to stick with the skill and nerve strike stuff. So you just want to go to conclusions?
Um, Yeah, sure. So, I don't really felt like I won because, like, with like the whole soul point, Corrin resisted that. Corrin like took skill. I did agree that he was more skilled than me, and like he also brought up the nerve strikes, which like I didn't really have a counter to. So, then I tried to like bring up luck hacks, but he countered with like his own like um fate hacks, which would just cancel out mine. So yeah, it kind of felt like I got low diffed.
All right, well, all right. Well, I guess I'll give a conclusion, unless is that just you pretty much giving me the debate or what?
Yeah.
All right. Well, GG, man.